Hi guys, we're back. We're back to the weekly review. This is the second week in a row we've been able to deliver a review to you. Max and I went and saw Spiral yesterday, the latest of the Saw franchise. Actually, it's called Spiral: The Book of Saw to be specific. So the movie. Let me pull up. I got a little
I
synopsis
also
here.
saw Wrath of Man.
Oh, nice. We'll have to do a separate one after this.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that, everybody. So Spiral, it's about a guy who's working in the shadow of his father, Detective Ezekiel Banks, and his rookie partner take charge of an investigation into grisly murders that are eerily reminiscent of the city's gruesome past. Unwittingly entrapped in a deepening mystery, Zeke finds himself at the center of the killer's morbid game. And Max, what did you think of this entry starring Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson?
I think this is probably the best Saw movie since the first Saw movie. That's not saying a whole bunch though. But no, like I wasn't mad at it. It was pretty much what I expected, but it's not just like, oh, I've got five people in these ridiculous traps. There's actually like some story. There's a little bit of the mystery. You're trying to figure out who done it and yada yada yada. So like I dug that. I thought this was much better than a lot of the recent Saw movies.
I I like the first three Saws. Everything after that, I've seen them all, and except for the last two, I had some enjoyment watching them. Last two were totally garbage, and I couldn't tell you anything that happens in three and beyond because it's all just one blur of overcomplicated plots.
Yeah.
So with Spiral, I went into it. I heard it was back to being a detective movie, a lot more like the first one was. It does give you some reminiscence of the original Saw, a little bit of Seven mixed in there too, because you don't really know what's happening, and they were definitely going for those vibes. But one of my negatives in this movie, and the guy tried, he tried so hard, and I don't think he did a horrible job, but Chris Rock's just not he's not a thespian, and
I think this is some of Chris Rock's best work though.
one
I
hundred
mean,
percent.
he's a cop, he's angry. It's I mean, like, it's up Chris Rock's alley, but yeah, no, I would have to agree. He's not the best actor, but you know what's like weird though is like some of the jokes that he told though. I was like, that was a Chris Rock joke.
Oh, it's some of the best jokes he's told in a while too.
Yeah, and it was like really good, and I wouldn't want anyone else but him delivering them. But it would have been weird, if it's just like two regular cops in the movie. They got like fucking Mads Mikkelsen and somebody else to play these guys, and then all of a sudden Chris Rock pops in like divorce is like chemotherapy.
Chris Rock is fine in the movie. Like I said, he's not
Yeah,
a thespian, but he's not.
well,
I don't know that he's trying to be, but it's not the Chris Rock from Head of State. Okay, he's not. He's not just doing Chris Rock in the
right,
movie.
right, but also like the movie didn't really require a huge thespian, so it's like, yeah, it was okay that Chris Rock was there. I wasn't mad at him, and I thought he did all right.
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie for 3 minutes.
yeah, yeah. Samuel. So, Max Minghella, who's also Minghella, who's also in *Handmaid's Tale*. I like him as an actor. I
Yeah,
mean, he always plays a similar character, but I don't know. I like seeing him on screen. I think
eh.
the guy's interesting to watch.
Nah, I don't trust anyone who's in a Handmaid's Tale and still has their penis. That's not. You can't be a man in a Handmaid's Tale and still have your penis. Like that's not cool. It's not
That's
cool.
a fair assessment. So yeah, the movie's fine. So another issue I had with it, and it's not really that big of a deal, but the plot I thought was very predictable. Like I knew the ending about 20 minutes into the movie.
I I don't think I knew like the ending so much as like I knew who the
Yeah, okay,
killer was.
fair. I
Like
knew. Yeah,
it's easy to figure out, and we're not doing spoilers, but like it's yeah, they try to psych you out, and that actually kind of gives away the whole deal. So it's yeah, I would agree with that. Like that was a little disappointing, but again, like it's a Saw movie, so I wasn't expecting a whole bunch. Um, it's yeah, it's not the usual suspects. You're not like, holy shit, like when you figure out who it is.
So yeah, no, the movie's good. Like I enjoyed it. I love a good cop movie, like a mystery cop movie where you're trying to figure out the whodunit. And even though I figured out the whodunit, which I rarely ever do, it was still fun to watch. And the moments where Chris Rock throws in some of his jokes or whatever, I think they work in the movie, and they are legit laughs. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I was very You know, he's an angry cop. Like, you know, he's divorced. He's getting divorced. You know, like the whole squad hates him. Yada yada yada. And you feel that. And then Chris Rock does a really good job in that. And then like when he gives off these like very jaded, you know, sarcastic jokes, like it's very, you know, like that you felt was like real to the character, and yeah, no, they were really funny. Yeah, it's there's like three really good ones in there, and I was like, all right, like this isn't so bad. This is probably why this is my favorite Saw movie. Just because, like,
oh, this is your favorite Saw movie?
I mean, no, the first one's better, but like this one I had more fun in, I guess. You know, like I'd say like the first Saw movie is the best one, but this one, you know, it's like, yeah, it's got Chris Rock telling jokes, so why wouldn't I love it?
Yeah. The first Saw movie, that twist at the end was something else. I did not see that coming at all.
Right. That's what's up. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. There's a couple of traps that are just inescapable, and I didn't think that was cool. I you know, like the rule. I don't like it when they break the rules of Saw. You know, like, hey, okay, you're a bad person. You can do this horrible thing to yourself and live, or you can just die and not have to live with whatever maiming that, you know, that I'm going to put you through. And some of these guys like have no chance. And I'm just like, well, if you just wanted to kill the guy, why don't you just shoot him in the head? You know, like, do we got to go through all? Like, I don't really want to watch this. Like, it's really gross.
Yeah, I agree with that. It that is touched upon in the original Saw franchise. You know, you got to make these traps winnable, or what's the point in what we're trying to do? Because his whole goal in the original franchise, or at least the three he was alive for, God, they milked his death, didn't they? But
I wouldn't even know. I've only seen the first two, and then I was done because I thought the second one was just a far drop from the first one, and then like they only got worse from there. So I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I don't know the storyline of Saw.
What he was trying to do in the original movie is trying to give people a second chance at life. Like, you're going to go through this experience, but it's going to make you appreciate the life you have, because what you're doing now is you're going to kill yourself, and you're not living the way you should. So he wants you to escape, because he wants you to have the same experience he did when he found out his cancer prognosis. And yeah, this movie, the traps, you got to be, they're not winnable. I mean, maybe a couple are, and maybe in theory they could be if there's just a little bit more time on them. But that first one was winnable, but you know, whatever. Anyway,
yeah, like I mean, like there are a couple that were one way, and a couple that were just like, I don't know that this is doable. But you know, it's whatever. You know, I guess he's not actually Saw, so he doesn't have to play by the Saw rules or whatever. But yeah, no, I just, you know, I prefer, you know, like, yeah, I wish I like the thing about the first Saw is like anybody could have been that guy. You know, he's like, okay, I've got you chained up in some dirty basement with a rusty hacksaw. That's it. And that was the whole thing, and that's the beauty of the first one. But like, you know, then after that, it's like these whole maze runner freaking things, you know, like half Indiana Jones style. Like, yeah, I'm not down for all that. So I wish they would have gone, you know, a little more back to basics. And they do touch on it at one point in time, but yeah, no, like it's just a little bit ridiculous to me that, you know, all these elaborate fucking death machines, like the world's worst like theme park.
So you can see this movie without seeing any of the Saws, I think, but I think you should go into it with at least the knowledge of the first film.
Yeah,
So watch the original Saw and then go see this. And
if
can
you
fill in those
only
blanks.
watched the first Saw movie and then this one, like you're better than the rest of America. Like that's not bad. You have not wasted 8 hours of your time.
Like I said, to be fair, I enjoyed them all until the last two. The 3D one and Jigsaw, I couldn't do, but they definitely John Kramer was dead for the last 6 movies. Spoiler alert! And somehow he keeps popping up. So I do like the fact that because John Kramer had proteges in the other movies, people that he took under his wing to teach this. I'm glad we didn't get touched upon that. I'm sorry if you consider that a spoiler, but I like that we started fresh, and the only few mentions of John Kramer in this I thought were handled very well, and this movie was a 3 out of 5. Pretty solid 3 out of 5. Like, it's a good 3 out of 5. It's not a bad 3 out of 5. You're gonna have a good time.
I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5. Like it's still a Saw movie, but it's like I wasn't mad at it when I left, and like it's not anything I'm gonna watch again, so that's why I'm not giving it like a 3. But yeah, it's it was all right for a Saw movie.
Yeah, so that's our ratings, guys. Please check out the Three Geeks podcast live every Sunday at noon. And Mondays, we do our interview show at 5 p.m. Mondays is at 6 and Fridays is at 5. So tune in, give us a like, subscribe, follow us on social media at Three Geeks Podcast. Check us out at 3geeks.ninja and everywhere that you find podcasts. You can also check us out on thescenesnobs.com. And we're everywhere. We're doing things. Doing big things. And check out our moves. Yeah, check out our show from yesterday where we had Halia Jones on and Kathleen Wasp from Funny Science Fiction. I love those guys over at Funny Science Fiction. Tim, Kathleen, and Nick. They do great things over there. So, from Max and myself, everybody have a great day.
Recycle your droids.